Hello, it's Andy again with the Egocast channel, and today we're talking science.
But not everyone is excited about the March for Science. In fact, not every scientist is excited about the March for Science.
Alright, drinking game. Every time he says March for Science.
I'm sure some of the scientists who aren't excited about the March for Science have good reasons for not being excited about the March for Science, but I also know that some of the scientists who aren't excited about the March for Science have fucking terrible reasons for not being excited.
Everybody able to keep up?
For example, Steven Pinker, cognitive scientist and author of such books as The Stuff of Thought and The Better Angels of Our Nature. Pinker recently tweeted, "Scientists' March on Washington plan compromises its goals with anti-science, PC, identity politics, hard left rhetoric."
That about seems to sum it up.
And then he included a link to the website for the March for Science, which is marchforscience.com, by the way. What was on the March for Science website that annoyed Steven Pinker so?
Okay, stop playing the game. If you're still playing the game, you're gonna die. Stop playing the game.
Well, another scientist, Alex Berezow, a microbiologist and founding editor at Real Clear Science, went into a little bit more detail in a blog post about why he's not too keen on the March for Science either. He wrote that he would not be attending the march because of his, quote, concern that the science march would be hijacked by the kind of political partisanship it should be concerned about.
Sounds like a scientist talking about something that he's seen examples of.
Berezow then declares that issues like diversity, equality, inclusion, and concerns about racism, sexism, ableism, etc. have nothing to do with science.
Because they don't. Like, scientists don't give a shit about where good ideas come from. They want good ideas. It doesn't matter as long as the ideas are good.
Quote, "These issues are the primary concern of revisionist historians and social justice warriors, not empirically minded scientists."
Sounds about right.
Here's what the Unity Principles page of the March for Science website says, by the way.
Yes, because whenever I want an unbiased source talking about a certain company, I want to go directly to that company's fucking website.
The March for Science strongly supports diversity, inclusion, and equality in science.
And all of those things do not matter as far as science is concerned.
American and global citizens are best served when we build and sustain an inclusive scientific community.
Like I said, they don't care where the good ideas come from, as long as they're good ideas.
We advocate for equal access to science education and scientific careers.
All right. Wish granted.
When evidence-based science and policy are ignored, marginalized communities are differentially and disproportionately impacted.
Yes, I completely agree. When people make shit up and try to push it as being fucking fact, it's harmful. Stop doing that.
Scientists and people who care about science are an intersectional group embodying a diverse range of race, sexual orientation.
See, this all sounds pretty basic so far.
Agender or gender identity.
And here it kind of begins to go off the rails.
Ability.
Ability, yes. The scientific community is built of all sorts of different people of all sorts of different ability levels. But the people with low ability levels, they wash the beakers. And the people with the higher ability levels, they do the science. So, gender and all that shit has nothing to do with it. It's the fucking really smart people are the ones that are coming up with the great scientific ideas. Doesn't matter where they come from, or what they are, or what. Don't care.
Religion, socioeconomic, and immigration statuses.
Immigration statuses. Not a whole lot of illegals working on a whole lot of science in the U.S.
We, the March organizers, come from and stand in solidarity with historically underrepresented scientists and science advocates. In other words, why do diversity, inclusion, and social justice have anything to do with science? Because they deal with issues that affect humans, and science is a human endeavor.
That makes no fucking sense. I mean, yeah, whatever. Like, okay. It's a human endeavor, so humans should be involved. Like, that... I'm trying to come up with a comparison, but I can't, because it's like, well, windsurfing is a human endeavor. Is there a place for science in that? Yeah. Place for people? Sure. Like, fucking... That's such a stupid thing to say. Human beings are involved. So, science. Like, fucking, what? Oh my god. It's so simplistic. It's so childish. Like, it's... okay. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, that human beings are human beings, and science is a human endeavor. So all human beings should be able to be involved in science. Okay. Like, do you have good ideas? I mean, if you're sitting in a corner with a helmet on going, "Duh," I'm not going to look to you for fucking science. Like, I don't give a shit. If you're still... I don't go to Riley for science. That's not who I go to for science. I go to fucking Thunderfoot for science. But I also don't go to Thunderfoot for fucking great social commentary. I go to other people for that. Like, my brain is fucking short-circuiting at how stupid that fucking point is.
And in science, as in every other realm where humans live, work, study, think, create, and interact, diversity, inclusion, and equality are necessary conditions for the good of individuals and the group as a whole.
Unless it's like an all-black play, right? Or something like that. Like, or unless it's an all-white play, where there's not enough white people involved in whatever, or black people involved, or fucking women, or whatever. Like, just asinine rambling.
Matthew Facciani published an excellent piece on this a few days ago on his blog, According to Matthew. He writes, "Advocating for diversity in science is not political. It's about being a decent human being."
That's always the argument, is it? Like, if you're looking at facts and you don't care about the feelings because the feelings don't matter because you're just paying attention to the facts and that's all you really care about, because the feelings conflict with the facts, so you can't say that the facts are wrong just because you don't feel that they're right. But whatever. So yeah, we need to put a place for emotion. That's always the argument. Like, just because I realize that there's just not a whole bunch of women going into STEM fields, or a whole bunch of black people or whatever going into STEM fields in America, where it's predominantly white. Like, just because these things aren't happening, that doesn't mean that there's a lack of empathy there. Like, it's not my fault. I'm not gonna force my child to go into a STEM field to make you fucking feel happy about yourself. Like, go suck a dick, man. I want the most brilliant minds. If my child is legitimately brilliant, and not just brilliant to me because she's my kid and I want to tell everybody how brilliant my fucking kid is, if like other people are like, no, she's really fucking smart, like, then I'm gonna maybe kind of edge her towards that kind of a thing, because you know what? There's fucking money and happiness in that kind of a field. So, get involved, sweetie. Like, don't let anybody tell you you can't do what you want to do. That's a really good message. Why can't that be the message? Why can't the message be, no matter what your race, gender, silly ideology, no matter what it is, go out and fucking be the best lunatic you can be. Achieve. Become what you want to be. You really think the earth is flat? Figure out a way to try and prove that isn't silly, and fucking make a run at it. Be the best lunatic you can be.
We should aim to make science more inclusive for everyone.
Science is inclusive for everyone, man. Like, I remember when I was a kid, my brother had one of those, like, 15-in-1 science kit things. And I used to play with that shit all the time, man. It was a lot of fun. I always felt included in science because I looked at it, I studied it, and I didn't use my white fucking finger to open the special secret white lock that unlocks the secret white science library. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I fail to see how that is political unless you are upset by people achieving equality.
I'm not upset about anybody achieving anything. I think achievements are fucking great. What are you talking about?
More brains in science is a good thing.
Unless, of course, it's just a fucking empty room full of a bunch of brains just sitting on the floor. They don't do shit.
He's right. Why are equality, inclusion, diversity, and social justice considered to be of interest to people on only one side of the political spectrum? Shouldn't everyone care about creating a fair and just society? Shouldn't everyone have a problem with people having to face additional obstacles put in their way because of the color of their skin or their gender or their sexuality or their country of origin or some other aspect of their identity that has been a part of them since birth? When people like Pinker and Barazow whine about political correctness and identity politics in response to an organization like the March for Science making an effort to prioritize diversity and inclusion, they merely confirm their own cluelessness.
Everything this guy says is just fucking gold to me, man.
They consider such things beneath the concern of proper scientists because they themselves have never had to face the obstacles faced by some of their fellow scientists who haven't had the same advantages of race and class and gender, etc., that they have benefited from.
That's because they didn't sit around all day wasting their time worrying about their fucking victimization and how, oh, it's because I'm black and this fucking that and the other thing. They worked on fucking hard goddamn science and they did the fucking math that they needed to do and they excelled because they pushed themselves. That's how you succeed. You don't sit around and bitch and complain until somebody just fucking gives it to you, because that's never gonna happen.
They don't know. And they don't want to know. And that does not strike me as a particularly scientific attitude.
I'm about to use that clip to make him argue with himself pretty much through the rest of the video. I'm always very embarrassed when I can do this. Not for me, of course. I think it's great. But for the person involved. It's my nightmare. It really is my nightmare. To someday think that I might see a video where somebody is going to be commenting on what I'm saying, and they're going to take something I say, and 5 seconds later, I'm going to be saying that same thing to everything else I say for the rest of... Like, this shit terrifies me. Fucking terrifies me.
I think anyone who responds to efforts to promote diversity and inclusion with right-wing snarl words like political correctness and social justice warrior should be fucking ashamed of themselves. But at the same time, I am grateful to people who use such words in earnest for letting me know up front that I need no longer waste my attention on them. They don't know, and they don't want to know. And that does not strike me as a particularly scientific attitude. And I'm specifically thankful to Pinker and Barazow for reminding me that the possession of an advanced science degree does not guarantee the possession of wisdom.
Everything he says is just fucking golden.
Or even basic human empathy.
Because see, that's always where it comes down to. If your science, if your facts don't match my feelings, you are a heartless piece of shit. Has the world not said fuck you to that kind of stuff enough yet?
It's a shame two such prominent science communicators with fairly far-reaching platforms have shown themselves to be no better than petulant internet shitlords in this instance. But if they do decide ultimately to skip the March for Science, that's fine by me. They don't know, and they don't want to know. And that does not strike me as a particularly scientific attitude. They won't be missed, and neither will their self-centered disregard for marginalized people in their own goddamn professions.
Seriously, dude. Terrifies me. you.